For brownfield manufacturing facilities
Hmm.
with legacy control systems, which is obviously the bulk of manufacturers, at least here in the
Sure.
U.S., is there a decision framework that you recommend for determining whether to virtualize during a modernization project versus maintaining
Hmm.
the existing physical controllers?
So I think the framework goes starts with an honest look, as I started earlier, about what people and what infrastructure you have in place today. So in a brownfield plant, there is tend to be a lot of legacy hardware out there. So when you're modernizing, you're the easy lift is going to newer, whether it's newer PCs, newer controllers, to take care of just your those legacy aspects and make sure that you're not worrying about hardware that's going to break, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you start examining a little further, especially as your networks, if there are core switches, core even Ethernet runs, fiber runs, that kind of thing that are older, have been around for 5, 10, 15 plus years,
Mm-hmm.
those might not be ready for immediately virtualizing everything. So you have to spend some back time to say that needs to be added to the cost of my modernization. And then back to staff again. It's are we ready in terms of our internal folks? Um, there might be IT folks in the corporation who understand virtualization because they've done it for file servers and email and other things, but that's different than a production OT system.
Mm-hmm.
So, A, do they have the staff to be able to support it? B, are they have the support agreement to even help you 24/7? So, can you reach out to folks who may offer that? Um, the last part is how critical of your production of the actual process does it involve multi-axis robots and or is it a simple, let's say, discrete manufacturing? The higher complexity, I would, in a modernization project, I would start, with let's get systems upgraded before we think about maybe going to virtualizing them.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas something that's maybe a little less complex, where you could still phase it in, but you can bite off more.
Getting a bit more granular about the automated systems that these virtual controllers will connect to, are there any latency or deterministic constraints that would make certain manufacturing processes unsuitable for virtualization?
There are in environments where you're dealing with, as I was describing, sort of the robots or multi-axis kind of control. You do have a lot of deterministic concerns to make sure that command and control happens as expected.
Hmm.
Where you might be doing a batch or discrete manufacturing, you might be sending down parameters and then letting execution happen at near the floor. So it's a little different. The the concern has to do with the moving the point of decision making off the floor and up a layer in your network. So as you virtualize, tend to be now this has to be with servers and visualization. A lot of it usually is back up a layer in the data center, whether it's inside the building or outside the building. And now you're having the system have to jump through multiple switches or and add latency in the communications. Now, there are edge devices which allow you to put virtualization or even stuff closer to the floor, closer to the actual thing, um, process, that is. And that can reduce that latency.
Hmm.
But still the concern would be that you need to have a very resilient network, and I'll say either managed switches, modernized network, and preferably most of your virtualized system is local to the plant or local to the process, to the building, as opposed to being cloud-based to produce the amount of, or a dedicated runs.